At the outset, I must put on record my sincere and humble thanks to give me an opportunity with you all. From the discourse and the dialogue that was being shared at this occasion, that yes, certainly, I appreciate the gesture that the Almighty is supreme, and whatever I shall be delivering with sincerity, clarity, in the dedication of the immense excellence in higher education will be certainly attributed towards the Allah. So once again, I thank the organizers, principals, the chairman, at the same time, IQAC coordinator, all the catalysts of quality initiatives of the college, institute, and IQAC coordinators from different institutions. And nonetheless, I should not forget Dr. Ayub Sheikh and Professor Bharat Kangude for expressing a gesture of thanks for inviting me and giving me an opportunity. It was told in the introduction that in the process of assessment and accreditation, Criterion 2 carries a great weightage. In simple word, I just put on the record that Criterion 1 itself carries a weightage of 350 marks out of 1,000 marks for total assessment and accreditation. Yes, that's why I would like to put on record that this is a heavyweight criterion, because all of you know that in other criterion, if you take a look at the score, some criteria is of 100 marks, some criteria is of 150 marks. Yes, but this single criterion carries weightage of 350 marks, which means a lot, because in the process of assessment and accreditation, dear friends, all of you know that until and unless we focus on the nooks and corners, or what you call the requirements and prerequisites of all, say, aspects of this particular criterion, we may not, or rather, I don't want to put this negatively. I would like to put it very positively that, believe me, although you belong to, say, rural area, remotest area, I would like to say, remotest area, although your college is located in town or in metro, for the all institutes, giving or imparting different programs, let it be arts faculty, commerce faculty, professional programs, or science programs. For all of you, this criterion is what you call very friendly criterion. And believe me, at the outset, what we have observed is that during the process of discussion or before process of discussion on this particular criterion, because it carries weightage of 350 marks, we are unnecessarily blocked. I would like to assure that after discussion for, say, 2.5 hours, there should not be any, say, any negativity about this particular criterion. One. Secondly, there should not be any question or any metric remaining where answer is still pending or it is not answered. So, dear friends, as title of this criterion suggests that this deals with very core function of our institute. And what is it? It's none else, that is, we are meant for one of the important stakeholders. And who is that stakeholder? Our students. So certainly teaching learning process in terms of our most important stakeholder, core stakeholder, I would like to say that this particular criterion deals with teaching learning and certainly evaluation. So first of all, let me share, because whatever we do is certainly related to nothing else but outcome-based education. In one of the questions, one of the metrics I shall be dealing with, outcome-based education. LOCF I shall be referring to. LOCF certainly hints to UGC outcome-based curriculum framework, how it deals, how it should be mentioned, how it should be handled, and everything should be mapped. So here also, during our discussion of 2.5 hours, I shall be focusing on, first of all, on the overview. I shall be taking overview and assessment focus of this particular criterion 2. Then I shall be speaking on distribution of weightages across all the key indicators and all the metrics in this criterion. And then one-to-one, I am going to deal with clear and what you call precise discussion on all the key indicators and metrics. And finally, I'm not going to leave the session until and unless all your questions and queries, because I believe that no question is rather say difficult or useless. Every other question is equally important because it leads to ignite our minds in the pursuit of quality initiatives, quality sustenance, and quality enhancement. So let us proceed. So what this criteria deals with, or how the 350 marks weightage of this jumbo criteria is distributed. Any IQAC personnel, any IQAC coordinator, or let he be principal or the top management. All of us should have this fixed, what I call structure in our mind. That is total weightage of this criterion is 351. Secondly, there are 7 key indicators, highest 7 key indicators, believe me. In other criterion, you will find 3 or 4 or maximum 5. But here 7 key indicators, and if these 7 key indicators include 1-6 metrics. 1-6 metrics, and these 16 metrics are divided into quantitative and qualitative. Highest or majority of the metrics are quantitative metrics, they are 9, and qualitative metrics count is of 7. So first of all, I presume that all of you are clear with what is how it is differentiated, or how NAC has differentiated between quantitative and qualitative. I will not go into the details, but what is the core, or what you call crux of this particular criterion? Dear friends, first of all, in all these 7 what you call key indicators, what you will find? You will find, first of all, the questions related to diversity of students, because already I have mentioned that we are meant for students, and student is one of the important stakeholders. So first of all, we are going to be questioned about our students' gender-based and social representation or society representation-based diversity. From where do they come from? In simple word, I would like to just mention that in what you call in intellectual property right, in criterion 2, Professor Kanbudi sir will deal with it tomorrow. But till then, just I would like to mention that in IPR, we go on mentioning about patents and everything, and there is one term, what you call GI, geographical indicator. In terms of institute, I would like to just mention one of the, or I would like to introduce one of the terms, that is what I believe, or what I coin as institutional indicator. And social representation and gender representation of our student is our institutional indicator that leads to diversity. How do we cater to the diversity of students? Then, to admit our students, those who express their will and wish to admit themselves in different programs run by our institutes, how do we run our mechanism, that is admission mechanism? One thing I would like to focus over here is that after admission mechanism, what is the other criterion? What is the other core crux area? That is, do we write our program outcomes? Do we write our program specific outcomes and course outcomes? And do we communicate to the stakeholders, teachers, those who actually teach in the class? What is the difference between these, what you call terms and everything? I shall be explaining to you detail, and whether do we map whatever objectives or outcomes we had expected. Then, there is a term, or there is a sentence, it is said that every child is different. Equally, every student is different intellectually. His capacities are different, and the questions are related to nothing else but what the questions are related to whether we have mechanism to assess different learning abilities and different learning levels of our students. Then if students learning levels and abilities are different, certainly we'll have to practice different teaching methods, and then we are going to be queried that what different methods we have been practicing at our institution. Rather than practicing, I would like to quote this term as what type of teaching mechanism we have developed or we practice. I use the word, I quote, that is mechanism. Then teaching cannot be traditional. Yes, there should be a blend of traditional and modern tools of teaching and resources, teaching resources. I differentiate between two. I shall be explaining it to you later on, that is teaching tools and teaching resources. Dear teachers, here are some questions. They are going to inquire us with the proofs, that is what type of use of technology in teaching and creating resources do we practice. Secondly, this particular aspect, that is teaching quality of teacher and experience of teacher, is really what I believe is our ornament as a teacher, our identity as teacher. Yes, and here we are going to help our institute to contribute from our say degrees, highest qualifications, our teaching experiences, and number of things. Then we are going to be queried for what are the methods and frequency of assessment and evaluation that we practice, and what is the mechanism that we run. And most important factor, that which was mentioned in the introductory part when the session was being opened by the honorable say the speakers, honorable invitees, honorable guests, that is SSS, that is student satisfaction level, how far students are satisfied with us, which is going to be of 60 marks weightage. Dear friends, briefly, I would like to just focus you on why? Because until and unless we know the weightage we are going to be queried for, absolutely, we are not going to set our targets. As I said, this criterion is meant for 350 marks, that is almost 35% of weightage, as it was told, is divided in 7 key indicators that was mentioned by me. What are they? First of all, you can see that student enrollment and profile is meant for 40 marks. Student diversity, which I spoke, that gender and social diversity is going to be queried for 50 marks. Teaching learning process for 50 marks. Then teachers profile and quality. See, as teachers, IQAC personnel, most of us are teachers. As me, our responsibility is here is directly for 60 marks, believe me. Then 2.5 is evaluation process and reforms, 30 marks, and then 2.6 is student performance and learning outcomes, which is again for 60 marks. And final 2.7, that is SSS triple S, is meant for 60 marks. Means out of 350 marks, two key indicators, that is 2.7 and 2.4. You can imagine that single criteria, single or just 2 key indicators are given, 3 key indicators, that is 2.4, 2.6, and 2.2 are of 50 and 40 and 30. Here you will find some questions which carry single question carrying more than, say, even 20, like 30 marks. So let's get started with the progress, with the understanding what are NAAC's expectation. Before I begin with the individual question, I would like to just mention over here that in my presentation, what I have done is, factually, if the question is qualitative metric, I have tried to present before you how you are supposed to fill in even what I call Excel sheet, which is uploaded or provided by NAAC. I have tried to include all the questions related to PG and UG, because no question is different, separated in PG, either PG or UG manual as far as this particular criterion is concerned. Third, I have taken note of, I have taken note of standard operating procedure issued by NAAC to attempt this particular question. So I promise, I believe that I shall be more and more clear, and if not feel free to ask me or query me. So the first, that is 2.1, as I told you, that is meant for students enrollment and profile, carries 40 marks weightage, and 211 is the metric or the question deals with average enrollment percentage. Hereinafter, you will be able to see question in highlighted, then whether it is quantitative or qualitative, and the marks assigned for this particular question. So this would be the method that I shall be dealing with. So here you are queried for the information of all 5 years. I repeat, all 5 years of assessment. Suppose you are going for the assessment in the current academic year, that is 2021. So it means here enrollment percentage or enrollment of the students of all the programs from last 5 years, like say 1920, 18, 19, 18, 17, 18, and 16, 17. So all the 5 years. So what are you supposed to do? Because this particular webinar does not deal with only NAC process, but it also deals with documentation process. And your documentation is going to give you the very important, what you call, say, aspect of scoring. In this particular question, I have displayed here in this say slide you see, here you can see what all information you are supposed to fill in your Excel sheet. So first of all, when you open your portal, you need to fill in information or title of your program. Then if the program has got code, that is program code. If not, if you are autonomous institute, you can prepare your own code, or if you are affiliated colleges, if you are affiliated college, your home university or affiliating university does mention program code. Program is the what you call degree. That is BA, BCom, BSc, any degree. Let it be MBA or any degree. I'm just quoting examples. Here, name of the program, and say for example, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. All 5 years information, program code of a year, then number of seats sanctioned. How many students were officially permitted to be, say, recruited or admitted in your institution. Suppose, say for a class, single division, you are permitted for allotment of or admitting 120 students. If you are affiliated institute, if you are affiliated colleges, you need to support this information with the document. What type of document? I'm going to come back to it. I'm not going to leave any question without mentioning the document required for it. This is your permission granted to fill in the seats, number of seats during that year. Then this column will deal with the number of students admitted. Actually, the students, those who have taken admission. Suppose, as I told you, that 100 students were permitted and you have 120 students, you can see the enrollment percentage does match over here. But now, if you have filled in this information, what are the proofs that you're supposed to submit in advance? First of all, every year I make it a point that IQAC is equally important for keeping documentation of the institute. I repeat, IQAC is equally important for documentation of the institute. So every year make it a point that program wise, I repeat, degree wise, program wise, prepare list of the students admitted every year. Suppose 1920, number of students admitted, list of the students, along with what? Make a clear list. Say for example, academic year 1920, serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, name of the students. Then above that, you have mentioned the program and academic year. Below that, serial number, the name of the student, roll number of the student. Then after roll number of the student, ID card, some institutes mention ID card, then even the Aadhaar card number and other details. So, and that list, whatever is the number, that list is certified by the principal or the highest authority of the institution. Basically, principal, because he is the administrative head of the institute. So, first of all, the list of the student. This list for is not sufficient only for or useful for only this particular question. This list is repeatedly useful for other questions in this particular criterion. So the list of all the students admitted during the academic year. Now this shows the proof that you have enrolled X a number of students. Now there was one column that intake capacity. What was intake permission? So if you are affiliated college, if you are affiliated colleges, student intake approval of letter of the university during that year. So IQAC should have this letter. See, when you create document or when you have document, procure document, two types of documents you go on mentioning. One, document ready at hand, and second, you need to create that document. So here I'm referring to the document that is ready in hand, that office has prepared, but IQAC has taken well in advance this particular document, that what was the total number of students approved by the university, or if not, if you are autonomous or other institute, the government approval to the admitting students. Okay. One more important information I would like to give you, that if your approval letter is in your what you call local language, NAC expects that you should upload that letter translated into English and certified by the principal. Translation is expected because documents are expected only in English. So along with your letter in mother tongue or in regional language, you need to hand over the letter in English. Secondly, if at all there is a more demand and if you have admitted number of major extra students, then additional intake sanction letter is also required. So this is what, on the basis of it, this particular can give you 20 marks, and this automatically shows that what is the demand ratio of our students for admission into the programs or for the programs run by our institution. So let us move on. After discussion on 20 marks, let us move on to the next question. Next metric 212. Again, this is quantitative metric. What does it about? Average percentage of seats filled against seats reserved for various categories. And NAC has clearly mentioned different categories like SC, ST, OBC, Divangjan, etc. as per applicable reservation policy. Answer is very much hidden in the question itself. I repeat, answer is very much hidden in the question itself, applicable reservation policy. So what type of question or what type of table are you supposed to fill in? You can see on the screen that year required is of 5 years of NAC. Year 1, year 5. So I'll mention. See that the number of seats NMARC Yes, thank you very much. There was a net issue, connectivity issue. Sorry for the interruption. Let me continue where we left. Yes, I was on this particular question that the SC/ST wise or the category wise, these are the two columns you are referring. One, the number of seats according to government resolution we are supposed to fill in, and how many actually, what is the total number of we have enrolled. Okay, let me go back to this particular question once again, that to claim this particular aspect, one, already for previous question you have prepared one list. What is that? Total number of students admitted during that academic year. Okay, and after that you need to separate whatever number you put over there in the Excel sheet. You are supposed to clear extract according to category wise. Here NAC has given us clear distinction: government reservation policy, either it can be according to central government or state government with whom you are affiliated to it. And that's why we must have what? Reservation policy later issued by the government. So to claim these 20 marks, we need to have what? One, total number of students admitted divided into category, different categories according to their categories as mentioned, and then what was the reservation percentage mentioned by the government resolution, and in support you need to have IKSC need to have that reservation policy later. I believe this particular metric is very much clear to you. Now, in this key indicator, one more question pops in, because this key indicator is 60 marks key indicator. Again, here, if you move on to the next, that is 2.2, catering to students' diversity. Here in 2.2, you will find majority of the questions are qualitative questions, and these qualitative questions will be evaluated, will be rather assessed by peer team. Now the first question we come across, or first metric we come across, is nothing else but 221 is institution assesses the learning levels of the student and organizes special programs for advanced learners and slow learners. Dear participant friends, here I would like to mention one of the aspects, that the sentence or one of the saying that every child is different. So as NAC has expected two aspects in this same question, and see here weightage is of 30 marks. Single question carries weightage of 30 marks. And I give you word, if you keep proper records of your activities, proper procedure, follow proper procedure, then these marks are in your hand. First of all, the first part of this particular question is assessing learning levels of our students. And latter part, after dividing our students according to their learning levels, then we go on giving or catering their intellectual capacities differently, that is organizing special programs for different level learners. And here I would like to hint at different types of assessment. There are two types of assessment. One is formative assessment and other is summative assessment. Those who are from education colleges, they know in this detail that summative assessment goes on is conducted for evaluation of learning level of students through end examination, that is either mid-term examination or final projects or a year-end examination. But formative assessment deals with the monitoring students' learning levels. That as teachers, we go on monitoring, checking how far students have rather understood the concept and how they are dealt with. One, like a diagnostic test. Second, we try to check understanding. We throng some concept, then we expect answers in classrooms. So how it can be done practically? First of all, to divide students, many a times I get different responses. What are those responses or reflexes? That, sir, we have say taken into consideration students last year's marks of that paper. That is entry level mark. This is not one-step process. This is not one-step activity that because last year in English that student got only 40 marks, he is slow student. No, it is a multiple level strategy. So here entry level marks is one point, one initiative. Then secondly, in classroom, as a teacher, I design number of problem sets, number of activities, and those activities are also mentioned in our academic calendar. And through this problem sets design, we try to measure their knowledge. It means core knowledge of the subject. Then we go on conducting different class tests. We try to measure their comprehension, then try to measure their application, then measure their evaluation. On the basis of evaluation, what do we do is continuously one practically. Here I would suggest that at institutional level, design your policy and procedures. What did I say? Create your mechanism that how have you decided to create or assess learning levels of students. So the title of that policy would be, I repeat, policy for assessing learning levels of students. And here that policy is written that what kind of activities, how it is going to be done, how teachers are going to be responsible, and how all the sections of institute are going to be useful for design, assessing, and what is the level of what is the role and responsibility of teacher. Because once we assess learning level on the basis of what other institutes do practically, let me tell you, individually students list is attached. With the help of list, first of all entry level marks, then diagnostic test, then the comprehension level, what are his responses during presentation, classroom activities, and on the basis of it, the teacher decide whether he is a slow, moderate, or advanced student. And on the basis of it, although you have divided your students into activity, don't let all these students, or don't let it publicly, because they would create divide among the class that this is a slow group and this is advanced group. No. Do let that particular student that you need more work, and I'm going to be there with you. So after dividing students with the help of or on the basis of your policy of assessing learning levels, what else you try to do? My dear teachers, you try to judge your student on the basis of knowledge, that is his cognitive aspect. Second, on the basis of his physical skill, what you call psychomotor aspect. And third aspect is his attitude, that is his affective. In Hindi, it is called dil, dimag or heart. We try to judge our student on the basis of all the three aspects. Some of the traits I would like to mention, that it's slow learners, because we have not, sometimes we have not taken, formal education, we have not taken into consideration. That is what exactly. Briefly, I would like to mention that slow attention plan, slow basics or fundamental basics of that subject. Reaction time might be slow, or what you call lack of self-direction in that particular subject. Abstraction, application ability may not be there. Mental process may not be up to expectations. So to compensate, second part of the question, that what can you practically do to deal with slow learners? One, you can arrange special guidance schemes, remedial classes, tutorials, extra tutorials for slow students. You can use compensatory teachings. Then secondly, self-study sessions. You can provide them question banks, extra study material, extra practice, then additional assignments, and you can promote them to take even skill-based courses. And moreover, that you can form group where those advanced students can help the slow students in that particular subject. So this is one aspect. But about advanced students, how you can, the role of the teacher is different. That for advanced students, You need to allow them choice, and you will have to record them. You go for presentations, you go with, you encourage them to take, say, help of technology. You promote them to help work together, accommodate space. How? Practically, you can go for different activities like advanced motivational session and guidance. Then you can promote them to participate in different, say, competitions, different, say, webinars, seminars, conferences, project competition, research festivals. Then you can promote them to say even appear for competitive examinations or subject related examinations. You can provide additional resources, taking into consideration that you have good, or these students have base knowledge, and simultaneously as a teacher you give additional what you call higher order thinking level questions back to them. Okay, so these are the activities you need to plan in your teaching plan, at departmental level teaching plan, and simultaneously in assessment and evaluation also, what you call assessment and evaluation calendar of your institution. So dear teacher, this was the rather question for 30 marks. Now I would like to mention, say, one of the very important aspect in 222. What is that? In this quantitative question, you are asked student full-time teacher ratio. Now here you are not supposed to give information of all the 5 years. Latest completed academic year. That's what I told you, that if we are filling in SSR in 2021 academic year, latest completed year is 1920. So in 1920, already you have in your hand, as I mentioned in previous class, all the programs enrolled student list of the institution, those who have taken admission in different programs, certified by our principal. Simultaneously, full-time teacher, I repeat, full-time teacher. Now, NAC has defined in standard operating procedure who is a full-time teacher. Here I have taken the same sentence that NAC has mentioned in the standard operating procedure. What is that? A teacher employed at least 90% of a normal or statutory number of hours of work for a full-time teacher over a complete academic year is classified as a full-time teacher. Certainly, no part-time teacher is to be considered here. No ad hoc or visiting faculty is to be considered here. Remember, to claim this question, what are the, or say, what are the things or what are the records do we require? First of all, you need, in the latest completed academic years, who were full-time teachers. And to claim those full-time teachers, you need to have their appointment letters. Now, there may be one question asked from your side, what if our appointments of full-time teachers are given by our institute, and because we are self-financed institutes, it is acceptable. But the appointment letter should mention that he is a full-time teacher, and who is full-time teacher? 90%, minimum 90% of normal workload or statutory workload during that particular academic year. So I am not referring or I am not mentioning this anything at my own, because but NAC has clearly mentioned that yes, we have to follow that. Yes. So after this question for 20 marks, what is the next question? This question is again of 20 marks. In our academic calendar, we need to say think of different aspects, different activities. Here also, question is for 20 marks, qualitative question. 231 deals with student-centric methods, such as NAC has mentioned 3 types of teaching methods. One is experiential learning, second is participative, and third is problem solving. We need to claim all the 3 methods to get optimum marks out of 20 marks in this particular metric with the help of well-documented process or well-documented practice. So first of all, let me very briefly, briskly, just I'm going to focus on this particular aspect. We fail to understand or we fail to differentiate between three. One, in experiential learning, you can see in the photograph, students are actually carrying field survey. Students of zoology, I have taken these photographs from one of the institute's website. Students of zoology are actually witnessing snakes, which is there in the syllabus. Students of say political science, they are practicing mock parliament to understand what is basically is parliament or how parliament functions, and then they go on doing it what you call role play. It means field work, on-job training, role plays, industrial visit, mock parliament, socio-economic surveys. So this type of some of the activities, when we organize in correlation with or from the chapter or from the prescribed syllabus. You may ask me one question, sir, if you are telling number of activities when to complete the syllabus, I would like to mention that these activities are part and parcel of the syllabus prescribed to the students during that academic year. That is what you call experiential learning is learning through experience, learning through reflections on doing, and it is individual learning process. So in academic calendar, rather in departmental planning, we need to plan these activities and document it. What is it? It is already mentioned in your academic as well as academic calendar of your institute. Departmental activity planning. Simultaneously, you have taken principal of either your head of the department or principal. Then notice has been taken up for the students for this particular activity. Then list of the students participated. If you have given some project, if they have gone for field project, automatically the list of the students, those who participated, their photographs, geotag photographs preferably, and most important is that after they complete that activity, better you take a report of that activity, and after with that report for feedback of that activity. So make it a point that you have this particular record to claim this activity, and try to differentiate or divide activity, which activities you plan in experiential learning, which activity you plan in participative learning, what we call as a peer teaching. Peer teaching, activity based, active learning to the student, it is group activity. Directly it is called as a cooperative or collaborative learning. There might be students presentations, there might be student seminars, or what you call number of displays students make number of models and modules, and they go on displaying and presenting. So same type of record you mentioned in participative say teaching, and simultaneously the problem solving method that you practice. What does problem solving method? This problem solving is you pose some problem, that is you mention simple case. Whatever topics are there in your syllabus, you enlist them, divide them in group, and you give them case, and on the basis of technicalities, that is how to identify problem, analysis of the problem, plan development, then how to implement, number of possibilities, and then how they prepare their reports. So here you go on giving case studies or real life problems in association with your the syllabus or curriculum that you practice, and here you fulfill the demand or the requirement of 20 marks. So here we proceed. Say for example, before I proceed to the next question, which is displayed on the screen, I just would like to mention that even there are virtual learning or through Google Class, you can practice this. Through Google Class, you can give number of problems, number of activities, and then students go on doing it. And then MHRDC has also got, and even IITs, all the IITs run different programs where they collaborate with number of say institutes through memorandum of understandings, and they help you out with such kinds of activities also. So here you can see the next question displayed by me is that 232 is qualitative, that is teachers use ICT enabled tools including online resources. Here see tools including online resources for effective teaching learning process. Now try to differentiate what is tool and what is resource. And resource, first of all, I would like to divide between two, that resource which is say made available to the students by you browsing on internet, what you call the free online OERS, that is open educational resources. Open educational resources available on internet. You download without breaching any loyalty or what you call the confidentiality or any terms and condition of the person or agency, those who have prepared it. But remember that you need to mention of this particular mention that one, resources that you have downloaded from open educational resource sources, and you have made it available for your student either on your institutional website, or if not on institutional website, you have communicated either through your Google Class or the customized learning management system of your institution, which is practiced through even Moodle also. This is open educational resource that you have taken up. Simultaneously, now lockdown has given us an opportunity. Softwares like OBS, screen recorder, then the Screencast-O-Matic, then Camtasia. Number of free softwares are there. Free softwares, they help us to prepare our resources. We prepare that video. Either we communicate, upload that to our again institutional website one. If not, we try to prepare our own YouTube channel and we communicate or we inform it to our student, our own resource prepared by us. Or secondly, we communicate or we send that again resource through our LMS or even Google Class. So what are it? We are supposed to enlist them. We are supposed to give them proof of it. If it is on the institutional website, we need to provide web link of our ICT. That is, we can go for internet supported, virtual laboratories, InfibNet, etc. resources made available by the institute. Simultaneously, the resources are created using tools, ICT tools. What are those tools? You can go for even starting from computer, laptop, LCD, CDs, then DVD, printers, photography, then cameras, webcam, copier machine, audio system, video system, whiteboard, smart board, then all the what you call video VC facility, then net facility, reprographic facility, license software, whatever tool you use to create your resource. But you should be able to officially prove that yes, you have used it. Simultaneously, you have that license tool or official tool. So here, this particular question is linked to some of the aspects from Criterion 4. Professor Kangure sir is going to discuss, because on website, whatever tools we have, we go on providing screenshots of it, photographs of it, and then automatically we provide here web link. Here we provide web link of that resource. So try to remember that this particular aspect is going to give us more and more. Yes. One question is asked from Professor Ganesh Kumar. Can we use faculty's personal YouTube channel as teaching learning resource? Yes. My answer would be not only YouTube channel, but faculty can also go for even blogs also. You can have your individual blog, but I would suggest that rather along with your personal blog, make it a point that on institutional website, make one window portal of your e-resources that would enhance to the what you call integrity of institutional staffs to promote or provide all types of resources. Thank you very much for asking question, and hope I have clarified more. Because you mentioned about the YouTube channel, I would like to just mention about even blogs also. Faculty individually even can go on with the blogs also. Secondly, institution itself can do one thing, that institutional can provide YouTube channel or YouTube link on the website, institutional YouTube link, as well as the link of your personal YouTube channel on institutional website, or your what you call Google Class. We need to authenticate it. Okay, so thank you very much for the. Let's move on to the next question after discussing say 15 marks weightage question. 2 to 3. Here also, the question is qualitative question, and this particular question, qualitative question, it deals with the ratio of mentor to students for academic and other related issue. It means the question is going to be queried for 15 marks for our mentor-mentee scheme. What did I say? Mentor-mentee scheme. Here, in previous manual, the question was qualitative question. But here, what is the question? Question is quantitative question. So, academic institute needs to provide data for latest completed academic year. Already I have clarified that what is latest academic year. You need to give what? You need to give the information of the students, on the basis of one, number of full-time teachers. Again, here I repeat, for claiming mentor-mentee ratio, you need to give information of only full-time teachers, whatever we specified in the previous question. Now, for individual teacher, how many students were allotted as mentees? So at one side, teacher, and in front of teacher, number of students. List of the student is demanded, not number. List of the student, his class and year of admission. And here only full-time teacher, as I told you previously. Second thing you have to do is that teacher-wise, you need to give this information. But although this is 1 year's information, I would suggest that you need to have one more policy and procedure defined by your institution. And what is that policy? Mentor-mentee policy of the institution. Write it out according to the way it is written as a policy and procedure. Write it out, get it sanctioned by your top management. In Maharashtra, we have CDC, College Development Committee, or your governing council according to your University Act. And once it is finalized or once it is approved by your institution, it becomes a mechanism. Because on the basis of the scope and limitations mentioned in that policy and procedure, you follow that practice. But during DVV process, what are you queried for? You need to give, first of all, the document that is, first of all, your principal's notification of that particular academic year about mentioning or requesting or informing students about mentor-menting policy, and requesting them or guiding them to submit their names to be mentored. One. Secondly, it means notification of the institute with the principal signature. Second, distribution of the students, teacher-wise distribution, means name of the teacher XYZ, number of students, list of the students distributed accordingly. Then after that, you need to provide sample form of the institution or sample data of the institution, that how you keep record of the students, those who get or avail mentoring facility. So most of important thing is that when you claim mentor-mentee, when you claim mentor-mentee policy, here what I was mentioning, that yes, here I was talking about, you can see on the screen what happens in DVV. Whatever list of the students you provide to the NAC, that yes, we have mentored this and he was the mentee. Some sample cases may be requested details in terms of their record of mentoring record. So I would suggest, first of all, in addition to you provide your mentoring policy as a support to it. Photographs of some mentoring sessions are must, and simultaneously you can prepare a form like one, that what are the areas or scope you mention or you give to the students to be mentored. What is the scope? This is related to academic and other issue. Remember, mentoring is different from counseling. Counseling is for some individual, for the specific individual problem, and it is done by the trained or certified professional, that is counselor. But all of us cannot be say counselor, all of us can be mentored, because the simple questions can be, say for example, I cannot concentrate, I cannot set my goal, how to complete study, how to finish this chapter, how to set the study plan. Or say those who are outgoing students, they may think that I would like to appear for the interview, whether I should go for this or that. Simple question, like say from concentration plan to everything. So prepare a form that what are the areas student want to get mentored. Secondly, date of sitting. Then what were the issues raised by mentee. Then what were the responses given by the mentor, and both of them signs after sitting, and all such sessions are recorded. And finally, at the end of the academic year, the mentor prepares, say, composite a short report, say 4-5 lines report about mentee's development during the academic. Say for example, stage daring, then some kind of say some kind of issues related to your say lack of study material, development of notes. Very easy question. So you prepare your policy, and that mentoring committee of your institution sets, say what you call the record collection, and they take continuous follow. So this would lead to the 15 marks weightage from my side regarding mentor-mentee policy. Then photographs, as I told you, and even on website also, like other policies, you mention your mentor-mentee policy and procedure, which you have converted into mechanism. So after this, I would like to move on to the next question. And what is that question? 241. Now I have moved on from 2.3 to 2.4. And here, as I told you, that this is nothing else but teacher embellishment, that our ornament as teacher, how far we are successful and how far we have been able to do. That is quantitative question, average percentage of full-time teachers against sanctioned post during the last 5 years. And this question is for 20 marks. What is it? Average percentage of full-time teachers against the sanctioned post. Here you will be supposed to fill in this type of table. And this particular Excel sheet is useful for 2 metrics. You can read over here in small. 241, that is current question, and 243, that deals with experience. So here, first of all, year-wise, IQAC, again IQAC, because all of us are representative of IQACs. My dear teachers, here, IQAC representatives, here, year-wise name, first mention name of the year, then year-wise name of the teacher, PAN card and Xerox of PAN card of the teacher. Then what is his designation in the institution? Because here we are going to be evaluated, assessed for 2 questions. Rather, this table, the Excel sheet, is lengthy one. I shall read out all because it is going to be helpful for both the questions. So what I was trying to mention is that PAN card, designations, then year of appointment. What type of year of appointment? Appointment in our institution, home institution, not suppose he has joined, the teacher had joined our institution last year. A year of appointment will be the last year. Why? I'm going to explain it in the next question, that is 243. Till then, just remember, what is the nature of the appointment of the faculty against the sanctioned post, whether it is a temporary or permanent. Then name of the department, year of experience in the same institution, I shall be explaining it later on. Then is the teacher still serving in the institution, not last year of the service of the faculty, if not last year of the service of the faculty to the institution. Let me go back. What type of document is required to claim this 20 marks? To claim the 20 marks, already I have defined who is full-time teacher. Get hold of all the full-time teachers' appointment orders. What did I say? Appointment orders of all in our institution. Okay. So if already teacher is permanent, every year you need not. That is matter of understanding. If the teacher is newly appointed, whoever is being appointed every year, make compartment, and if I mention who were the full-time teachers. Then what was his designation? We may say that designation is same. No, we get promotions. So in which year he has got the promotion? Get hold of that copy also. Let it be government approved positions or management sanctioned posts. Simultaneously, full-time teachers authenticated list. You have now collected the list, but that list must be authenticated by the principal, certified by the principal, means stamped and signed. That yes, during academic year so and so, we have had this number of teachers, and in support, we need to provide all the appointment letters of the teacher, or NAC may inquire for appointment letter of a particular teacher during DVV process. Secondly, their PAN cards are required. So make it a point that you have PAN cards of all the teachers, all the full-time teachers as a record. Because what happens usually, wherever we go, during NAC time, preparation time, before uploading, we go hurry and scurry, searching for the retired teacher to get hold of his PAN card and the appointment letter. Why? Because till within these 4 years, we have not spent much attention, and that's why there is a possibility that we may not be able to get that. So year-wise, IQAC plan what should be the frequency of collection of record of all the teachers. As I distinguish, records that we need to create and procure from different departments to IQAC central processing unit, or what you call retrieval or storage unit of your institution, to avoid 11th hour mess. I use the word mess. And second, whatever our documents are ready, make it a point that year-wise those documents are saved, scanned, and properly, clearly they are saved in your portal. Because already you might be aware that now NAC has already declared that. From that they have revised, NAC has revised the AQAR structure and manual. And what does this new manual is like? New manual is mini SSR. I repeat, mini SSR. So from academic year 2021, whatever AQR we are going to fill in, till present day, we were not expected to give supporting documents to the portal. We were just supposed to mention its numbers and some small quantity of the document. But here remember, from 2021 academic year, 1 year AQR is equal to SSR of that particular academic year for 1 year. And a day can be imagined that all 5 AQRs are compiled together, because we are filling in that information along with all the necessary proofs, and that is compiled together and printout is taken, nothing to be added from our side, because already year-wise we have communicated, and that is our SSR, just meant for DVV process. That's why I'm rather trying to give you gravity of and importance of the documentation. And that's what here, let's come back to the question that is 242 is again quantitative, average percentage of full-time teachers with PhD. And these degrees have been DM, MCH, DNB, super specialty, DSc, DLIT during the last 5 years. Here, along with teachers, appointment letter, along with teachers joining or experience letter, simultaneously along with teachers PAN card, we need to have their highest degree certificates in our hand, IQAC. Why? Now one I would like to make over here clear, that if the teacher is MSc and he is PhD, do not claim for PhD as well as say MSc. No, one teacher, only one highest qualification. That is said by the NAC, consider only highest degree for count. One teacher, one highest degree. So one list of the teachers during those during that particular academic year. Then their what do you call the designation, their highest quality, highest qualification. In front of highest qualification, what was the year that degree was awarded, and in support document, means list of the teachers certified by the principal, and simultaneously to claim authenticity, PAN cards of their teacher, appointment of letters of the teacher, and their degree certificates. So this will give 20 marks importance or weightage to you. Here, as I told you that, see here, you can see what type of data you have to fill in. This table seems to be more say lengthy with number of columns, because the same table is being used for third criterion, and what is that criterion? That is 312 as well as 312 and 331. It means for the three metric, table is going to be the same. So here you get the information. First of all, the two things I would like to just mention here: name of the full-time teacher, then qualification, highest qualification, and year of year. Here, see, you can see here, year is mentioning. And for criterion 3, you need this information for PG, basically for PG, whether he is a PhD guide or not, and then simultaneously year of recognition and degree, or whether he has retired or not. So whatever was of my say in this particular criterion, specifically this particular metric, already I have told you for 20 marks. So let us now come to 243, that is quantitative metric, average teaching experience of full-time teachers in the same institution. Now you got idea. Whatever I was saying, see, if the teacher is working in our institution from the last year, his experience will be counted from the last year in the same institution. This I am not claiming, I am not saying what NAC has mentioned in DVP. I hope you agree. So data for the latest completed academic year, this latest completed academic year, already I have mentioned. This is meant for 20 marks. See, you can look at the mark. In other criterion, other metrics, you can see questions are meant for 4, 5 mark or maximum 10 marks. Here, bonanza, take it, 20 marks, 30 marks, 50 marks. On an average, questions are of 15 to 20 marks. So that's why I'm trying to create gravity of 35% of marks of total AA, dear teachers. So here, a table already I have mentioned, that list of the teachers, full-time teachers, and before, in front of their name, their designations, qualifications, then their other PAN card number, and simultaneously their joining appointment, date of appointment in the institution. And to claim that appointment letter, we need to have the same document, that is their appointment letter in our institution. So list of the teachers, including that's what I said, that their degree certificate, PAN certificate, and etc. etc. So this was the question. So I have repeated this particular, say, the same table is being repeated here. As I told you previously, that 241 and 243 carries same Excel sheet, but needs to be filled in differently, uploaded differently. Now we come to the important part. Rather, say only 30 marks, but it's not less. It's not less. Marks carry equally importance. 30 marks, that mechanism of internal assessment is transparent and robust in terms of frequency and mode. What is the question? Internal assessment. And internal assessment of what? Internal assessments mechanism. So again here, I would suggest that if you are going to claim for A+, and like say to Institute of Eminence, although you are affiliated institute or autonomous institute, I would rather suggest that to prepare your assessment policy and procedure of your institute. Write it out, discuss it in IQAC, send it to your syndicate or governing council, and through governing council or highest management, get it sanctioned and communicate to your say concerned person. Simultaneously, you have examination cell. Through examination cell, you go on preparing additional calendar in addition to your academic calendar, that your examination and examination calendar of your institution. You can mention, many of them say that, sir, we are affiliated institute and academic calendar, examination calendar for assessment and assessment, say examination and assessment is given by the institute. Yes, I know the reality, but I would rather suggest that when we go on giving this particular aspect of assessment calendar, make mention of internal test, different modes and methods of assessment. Like say, there might be a curriculum-based project, which is already mentioned in the syllabus, then class tests, then students' presentations, PPT presentations, there can be model making. Dear teachers, dear participants, here I would like to connect this particular question to 2.6, that is COPO writing and mapping. What did I say? COPO writing and mapping. And more important that I would like to go for this particular question again in connecting to classification of students into different learning levels. These are all interlinked activities. Diagnostic test and all the tests and tests, I told you that although they are not summative, different means and modes are used for dividing them in terms of their learning levels. It can be a part of internal assessment, or the objective might be different, which can be mentioned in your policy and procedure, which you have approved through your highest management, and that you have practiced as a mechanism. One example I would like to quote, because in one of the institute I was there for mock peer team visit. And what had happened, they had prepared very good feedback form, like say in first say capacity. Now, what you call first criterion. They had prepared it, taken feedback, they had analyzed it, they had taken action taken report also. They had shown me action taken report also. But finally, I was not satisfied. Why? I said, yes, you practice, but what type of mechanism you have developed? You have not proved it. If our institute prepares policy and procedure of that particular aspect, that we can claim that yes, this is the mechanism, and it can be modified according to need of the time. You can modify that policy and procedure. Remember one thing. So I would suggest the third time in this discussion of this particular question that you prepare your mechanism of internal assessment, and what type of, how are we going to be assessed? That is transparency and robustness. What is robustness? That is strong and healthy. That weekly, in 15 days or monthly, we go on giving our some kind of continuous assessment. Importance of continuous assessment, as I told you previously, repeatedly I'm mentioning that I'm going to connect to 262, that is mapping of our outcomes. So till then, just refer to it, that frequency calendar. Here, first of all, we need to refer to our academic calendar and our examination calendar, prepared and approved in the academic, our examination cell. Then what type of modes of assessment, summative and formative, already I have cleared. And then actual internal assessment implementation and its record. Means suppose you are claiming that we have conducted test, then say test declaration, notice of the test, then attendance sheet of the test, question paper, and there say evaluation sheets. So all these things needs to be maintained, because this question is qualitative question. We need to provide all the details to our committee visiting and institutional policy. And say, for example, what kind of transparency means, how all the teachers were allotted duties, how the classroom classification timetable was displayed, then timetable of examination was displayed, then question papers were submitted in advance, question papers were opened in timely manner. If it is the questions are being received by university through online channels, screenshot, what type of software was used, then when were examinations results were claimed or promised, and actually when were they declared. Then if some student come with the grievance, what grievance have you considered, and how you have considered, and how he has been responded. So such types of record are going to claim your assessment. Means simultaneously technology, and in support to the technology, your complete planning of assessment. So you need to run your examination cell very meticulously, time bound. Yes, there is possibility that the examination may be preponed, postponed, or there is some limitation. But remember that you need to maintain record of this particular, because whatever we teach, it is outcome based. So in 2.5.2, again qualitative question related to or linked or kind of an extension to the previous question, that is mechanism to deal with internal and external examination related grievances. is transparent, time-bound, and efficient. Suppose you are conducting internal test. One, frequency already you have declared, but simultaneously you have declared those results, you have notified it. But suppose some students claim that he was present, but his results are not declared. He was there to participate in national level competition on behalf of his university or college. Then what kind of alternative system you have designed for that particular student in your policy and procedure of the institution? Are you going to conduct his retest, or are you going to consider some alternative source? So whatever is your schedule, actual implementation, its record, then their attendance, your internal flying squad to check malpractices, then university program. Then suppose you may say that we are affiliated institute and our university sends the squad, but university squad does notify their visit. Simultaneously, you can appoint your internal squad, allot them duty letters, then their signatures, that what was the mode of the duty they conducted, and simultaneously after results are declared, present is shown as absent, subjects are changed, students do come. We all of us do work in accordingly, but make it a point that declare who is the contact point in the office, to whom they should meet. Then they meet, registered is prepared, written application is taken, form is filled in. What type of, suppose I want Xerox copy or reprographic Xerox copy of my answer book, or if not, I want to get my paper rechecked. Student come to us, everything is practiced through our portal, but in the record, our register, enter all the details and take signatures of the student. Simultaneously notifications to the students, and then after notification of the students, you go on claiming this, and when the results, when you are complete that query or grievance, you take signature of the student and mention date over there. And one committee, your examination committee, takes a follow-up whether we are running according to the claim that we have done, that we'll solve this particular problem in the particular time. So that's what. And if there is any problem, then what type of corrective and preventive measures we go on mentioning. Dear students, one question is there in 261. Now I'm turning my attention to last few key indicators, that is 261 and 262. So here, qualitative metric deals with 15 marks. 1. The program and course outcomes for all the programs offered by the institutions are stated and displayed on website and communicate to teachers and students. Dear teachers, here, if you are affiliated college, our Board of Studies is responsible to prepare the syllabus, and they mention either course outcomes, program outcomes, or program specific outcomes. But if it is not done by our affiliating university, make it a point that you prepare your CO, PO, and PSO. If you are autonomous institution, you have your independent board of studies, you have your academic council, and you have your governing council. Your BOS, when prepare syllabus, make it a point that all these things are being prepared. They are uploaded on our institutional website, and during beginning phase of our academic calendar, academic year, we go on conducting induction program, where all students are gathered, and rather principal and all teachers address them, mentioning their roles and responsibilities, and simultaneously institutional commitment, what you call student, or what you call graduate attributes of our institution. First of all, this question is as simple as it looks. Like, you have CO, you have PO, and you have PSOs. You upload it on your website, make a separate tab, provide link of it, and you communicate to the students and teachers through different sources. One, website. Secondly, in teachers meeting, principal communicates. Simultaneously, So they are circulated among the teachers to every department or every subject teacher simultaneously. Their induction programs are taken. They can be notified on the institutional notice boards and simultaneously communicated to LMS or Google Classes or students' email or our app of the institution. This is as simple. But I need to give you the core understanding of this particular aspect, because how do you differentiate between or among course, program, and program specific is at stake, or people go on jumbling between among them. I would like to mention first of all, program. What is program? I have clearly mentioned what is program. After studying that particular program, we award degree to the student, graduate degree. That is, BA is a program, BCom is a program, BSc or BBA. They are program, not degrees here now. Okay. So after 3 years of study, after taking degree, what outcome do we expect from BA student? National Board of Accreditation has clearly given how many POs, program outcome, should be there, rather between 10 and 12. UGC has come out with LOCF that I'm going to explain now. But till then, just remember, program is a degree. So after completion of degree, what student is expected to learn? But in BA, we have specialization. In BSc, we have specialization. In BCom, we have specialization. Suppose he is a student of history, BA with history subject. He is a graduate, but simultaneously, as a specifically graduate or as a specific graduate of history, how much or what special outcome do you expect? And what is going to be their number? Just mention 3 or 5, between 3 and 5, not more than that. As a student of history, as a student of BSc chemistry, how is different from BSc physics student? As a student of BCom with accountancy, how is different from BCom with, say, insurance? So this is a program specific. And what is course? Course is a paper. What did I say? Course is a paper. Suppose he is a student of BA history. He has got civilization paper, ancient civilization of India. Suppose, for example, he studies that particular paper, that is course for that particular semester. Means after studying that paper, after studying that course, what are we committing him to achieve? That is course outcome. How many of them can? Course outcome can be 5 to 6, between 4 and 6 rather. Kya kar sakte? And how they are to be written? Here I am referring to Bloom's taxonomy, BLOOMS, Bloom's taxonomy. For writing CO, PO, PSO, we have got different, because this cannot be mentioned in very short time, because how to write PO, CO, PSO and how to map them, we have got different program of 4 to 5 hours. Here just I'm giving you a glimpse of it. Bloom's taxonomy mentions 6 steps. 3 are of lower order and 3 are higher order. It starts with memorizing, then second level is understanding, then analyzing, then applying, evaluating, applying, and creating. Evaluating, applying, and creating, these are considered as higher order thinking. So when we write our CO, PO, PSO, we need to link that if this is my first PO, what does it map from, or how does it link, or where does it link to Bloom's taxonomy? Whether it links to the understanding level, application level. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't want to comment negatively, because I am highly optimistic person. Because of unawareness of these basics of fundamentals, I come across many COPOs written where first CO is the higher order thinking and the last CO is lower order thinking related to memory. Do you agree with me? Should not. Because until once, first of all, he memorize, understand, then analyze, then apply, then evaluate, and then creation is the highest level. And that's what I'm trying to mention, that UGC in month of August 1918, first of all, came out with learning outcome-based curriculum framework. It is available. And in month of December 19, finally they came out with a draft that to improve the quality of teaching is judged by the quality of learning of the student, and it should be mapped. How? Beautiful or simple example, I would like to just example. Take example. We give admission to our student for the first year of program. Suppose if it is like a car driving. What is end of the car driving we dream at? If he is a skilled driver with a what you call driving license in his hand, he will end up smartly with the target to reach. If it is not good driver, he may end up in the hospital. And the third possibility, if he doesn't end in the hospital, certainly he will break down his car, scaring others. So as like education, I mean. I say, go on saying that every beginning has an end, so does education also. If student is becoming graduate in our institute, what is end of graduation of our student? One, is he unemployed? Second, is he chaiwala, a skilled person? These days, chaiwalas are having very good, say, prospect in our country. I need not digress. And the second thing is that after he's a graduate, what type of professional he is a well-settled professional. And this can be achieved with the core activity or core of this question is that outcome-based education framework given by UGC. That's what I was trying to say is that, see, course outcomes, program-specific outcomes, and program outcomes are based on Bloom's taxonomy. They are related to these all aspects. I'm just focusing on this case, that is our knowledge, that is cognitive skills or knowledge skills, thinking skills, research skills. Then social skills, our COs or all our outcomes should focus on this particular aspect. That is core knowledge of the subject, or what you call elective in new CBCS pattern. Are social skills inducted in the syllabus? Then communication skills. Apart from communication skills, moral and ethical awareness in the syllabus. So what I'm promoting is that, see, Bloom's taxonomy is going to be dealt with the writing of COs. Now we have prepared CO. CO is a paper, I said. CO is paper, but after discussion of this particular, say, last two questions, I am going to come back to 262. Will it work? I am going to show you some Excel sheets very briefly, because I cannot deal with mapping aspect in detail. But please, somebody please respond your approval either positively or negatively, because 262 is one question, but after that there are two questions remaining. Let me first of all complete remaining two questions, and then I would like to move on to the mapping, how you can plan mapping. So shall I go according to my plan, or shall I continue question wise? Please answer, sir. Please respond me. Anyone, please, sir?
Sir?
Yes, shall I continue? Shall I first of all deal with the remaining two questions and then come back to this question?
Yes,
or
sir.
shall I? Yes.
After completing the session, we will go for the question and answer session.
No, sir. Regarding this particular question, this particular
yes,
262, I would like to discuss it in the end with the help of other slides.
Yes,
so
sir.
I am rather skipping this question, sir, with your kind permission. Okay, sir.
Sure.
Thank you. Before checking on the attainment, dealing with the attainment, I would like to focus on this particular question about the 263. See, if we teach and evaluate students in a better manner, automatically this question is going to give us 30 marks. I believe 30 marks, single questions. What is the question? Pass percentage of the student. No 5 years data is required. No 5 years data is required. Academic year recently completed. And that too, no examination results of all students, only final year students. Let me go to the Excel sheet of it. First of all, year. Okay, academic year recently completed. Suppose as a case 1920. What was that program name and program code you mentioned? Number of students appeared in the final year examination. I said final year examination, number of students appeared. This question is bonanza. Number of students appeared and number of students passed in the final examination. And as a detailed additional information, you can provide detailed analysis of the result. Like say, how many students were in pass class, first class, second class, distinctions, gold medalists. So that gravity of your hard work is being considered over here. And that's what I said, that annual report link. As a document, if you are affiliated colleges, you need to provide result sheet of your affiliating university mentioning your pass percentage. And if you claim that student has got gold medal, again, letter by the university or certificate by the university that yes, that student was placed in gold medal. So this question, 30 marks. Now, the question of highest weightage, single question in this criterion. And I would like to mention the students are going to be our judges score here. 271 qualitative metrics, online student satisfaction survey regarding to teaching learning process. In this, all of you might know that total there are 21 questions. 20 questions are objective questions, means each question has got 4 options and students are supposed to click 1. 21st question is open-end question. I said 21st question is open-end question and their students are supposed to elaborate. But why this question is inducted? Which NAC claims that they would like to check effectiveness of efforts of teachers and institutions to make teaching learning meaningful and to check satisfaction level of our students. Are all students being queried? No. Student satisfaction survey will be conducted simultaneously with DVV. Once you upload your SSR, along with SSR, in IIQA, you might remember that in IIQA, you are supposed to give information and each and every student, like say, student, name of the student, class, gender, year of admission, student ID number, Aadhaar card number, his mobile number, email ID and program to his admitted. NAC on random basis, UG, PG and autonomous institute, NAC sends emails to the students during that stipulated period once you upload your SSR, and NAC should receive at least 10% of total strength. I repeat, NAC should receive 10% of total strength or 100% of 100. I repeat, at least 10% of total strength or 100 count, which is lesser. If institutions DVV response, student response are below at least 10% or minimum 100, no DVV is continued and no peer team visits to your institute. Remember. So now these days NAC has come out with the with hoardings that when DVV process goes on, NAC has on the NAC website portal, you can find one of the hoardings that you can get print out. You can write dates over there and you can display those hoardings on the campus to make students aware. But for institutions, dear IQAC coordinators, I would like to mention some of the do's and don't do's. In some of the institutes, what has done, that teachers themselves had the access to email access, email IDs of the students, and they click those answers from same IP address, which is not at all acceptable. So don't go for malpractices, because technology is smart enough, brave enough to check us, to test us. So what can be? Because students should be able to, some of me, you may say me, ask me, sir, students are from rural area, they don't have access to. Yes, these are the facts, but make students habitual. In our AQAR, there is a general student satisfaction survey. To conduct student satisfaction survey, I would rather suggest send the link of student satisfaction survey either through their emails or LMS or your Google Class or your what you call the website, through website, or what you call mobile application of your institute, so that student will become technology friendly and they will be habitual to visit their email IDs, send some assignments, send some tests, or send some notes through their what you call the email IDs, mobile phones. Uh, why? Why this is necessary? Because if it is linked with their assessment and marks issue, automatically student, if he has changed or altered his mobile number or email ID, he will inform us, like leading to, say, next, or leading to avoiding next problem. So this is what just I wanted to show you from tell you regarding this 2.7. Now I am stopping this screen and I would like to rather share new screen. New screen how this particular question needs to be discussed and need to be say dealt with. I would like to show you only one or two say Excel sheets rather. Let me share my screen. Yes, I'm sharing my screen. One or two slides I'm going to, Excel sheets I'm going to show you. Can you see the screen? Please confirm. Can you see Excel sheet?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One or two Excel sheets I'm going to, I don't want to make things difficult, but say for example, PO statement, for example, I wanted to show you. For English, say English, not Department of English, but for say program, BCom program, you can just scroll that how PO1 knowledge acquisition. This is NBA and UGC guideline. PO, PO1, PO2, PO2 related to skill development, PO3 related to legal awareness, PO4 is related to professional accounting practices, PO5 is related to communication skills, PO6 is related to analytical skills, PO7 is related to use of tools and technology, PO8 is related to environment and sustainability, PO9 is related to ethics, and PO10 is related to lifelong learning and collaborative skills. So these are the program outcome, that is POs for BCom program we have prepared. Now, I would like to take you to one of the, this thing, say one of the PSO statement. As I told you that PO, I have written this PO in accordance with Bloom's taxonomy. How? Say, program specific PSO for BCom, specifically we have mentioned as students of accountancy and as students of marketing or banking, what are they going to? PO1, PSO1, basic skills in commerce, analyzing accounting and banking practices. Then PSO, demonstrate progressive development values. Means PSO related to all their specialization. My subject is English subject and I do teach communication skills. Suppose this is a course, CO, for that term, what was the term? That is BCom 2 and semester 2. In that paper, what was the title of the paper? Compulsory English, Gems of Wisdom. Look, academic year 1920, this was semester 3, wrongly typed here semester 2, BCom 2. The title of the course is a paper, English compulsory paper from textbook Gems of Wisdom, meant for BCom 2. Course means after teaching that paper, Here I have written my paper number is, means course number is, this compulsory English, course number 201. If for 201, my target outcomes, objectives are 6. You can see here, objectives are 6. English, whatever is there in the syllabus, on the basis of syllabus, 6 target, like enlisting components of job letter and resumes. Then remember, understand, evaluate, level, Bloom's level I have made. I have connected it to Bloom's level. Now, after this writing Bloom's level, there is a concept of mapping or connecting this thing. CO1, 210, I told you that because this is a course outcome 1, course outcome 2, course outcome 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my English paper. Here, 10 of them I have marked out as I have shown you, right? 1 to 10. My first objective of teaching that paper, how it is linked with objective of my program. As a teacher, I have set his level. What is that level? Whether it is level 1, low, level 2, moderate, and level 3, highest. Or if it is not correlated, I have left it blank, means 1, 2, 3. And I have set the target. I don't want to make it the things difficult, but here also, I have connected my POs, COs with PSOs, whatever you saw earlier. I am just briskly giving you the, what you call, outline or idea. But here my target as attainment target, what I set rubrics as a subject teacher. He first CO, after studying first CO, this particular aspect, how much average number of students, total number of students, average mark should be of same level. And here I have set target 60, that all those students should score minimum average target of 60, because here justification I have given, targets can be different, but this is my compulsory paper. So I have set this target as 60%. This I wanted to show you. This is the one of the sheets that I wanted to show you. In your assessment calendar, examination calendar, you design that you have internal assessment. What is it? Whether you have course project? No. This is my rubric. I don't have, for compulsory English, I don't have any this thing. Assignment, yes, I am going to evaluate them through assignment. Continuous assessment, CA stands for continuous assessment. Yes, I have told that I have gone through continuous assessment. Mid-semester examination, yes, I have taken mid-semester examination. End semester examination, university examination, yes, I have taken consideration for this paper. And here, indirect assessment or course exit survey, yes, I have taken course exit survey. How I have planned my assessment? See, 2 types of assessment. One is direct assessment and indirect assessment. Here, direct assessment will be done on the basis of internal and external assessment. Internal and external assessment means, see here, you can see CA theory, continuous assessment. CA1, 15 marks test. CA2, 5 marks test. CA3, my student presentations, I have taken presentations. And here mid-semester examination, 20 marks, 50% of the syllabus. I have prepared this rubrics. This is called as a rubrics. End semester examination, fixed mark duration, 50 marks, and course exit survey by students. On the basis of it, just I'm going to show you only one question paper. See, I have told that in continuous assessment, question paper will be prepared. How many marks? 15 marks. Now I have taken up question paper. Up to this, see, this is our question paper. But try to see 1 or 2 points I have set. This particular question of objective question, what is Bloom's level? Application based. And what is course outcome? I have linked this question to map. This is called as a mapping. Through this question, I will map course objective 5 of my target. Through this question again, 5 of my target. Through this question, remember, see, in which year APJ Abdul Kalam was born? Year. Means this is remember based question according to Bloom's taxonomy. And here's target was that just giving them understanding or checking their knowledge related to course objective 1. See, 5 marks question of short note. What are the levels? Understanding level. It has been linked to CO2. This question is linked to CO4 level analysis. And what is my mark list? See mark list. I have A boy, B boy, C boy, name of the student, sample. My question was of 5 marks, right? Objective questions, how many marks were there? 5 marks. Question 1, 1 mark, means objective question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 4, question 5. 5 marks questions were there. Here, question 2 was for 5 marks. Question 3 was for 5 marks. Okay. Now what I have done is, which level did I check? In question paper, I had mentioned this. See here. In question number 1, objective question, I will assess question CO level 5. So let me go back to this. CO level 5. So in how many questions I am assessing 5? CO level 5, 1 and 2. What is count of mark? Check. CO5, 1 plus 1, 2. Here I have made it total. My total target to assess CO5 is 2. Now in question number 2, objective, question number 3, come. CO1, where was it in question paper? See, question 3 objective, question 4 objective. What did I aim at achieving? Assessing CO1. Here also, what I have done is CO1, what is the total of mark of CO1? 1 plus 1, 2. Means my target is to check or evaluate 2. Means this is assessment strength of CO1. Now, in the last question of objective, CO3 is mapped. CO3 is nowhere it is there. So only 1 is the target. Here in question number 2, CO2, 5 mark. Come, look, 5 mark. This is the target. CO4, again, means total was 10. Now these are marks scored by the student. See, question 1 objective, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, what student A has attempted these particular questions. How many marks? 4 marks, but level wise I am going to compute them. CO2, 3 marks, 4 marks, total marks out of 15, 11 he scored. But now what was my target? 60 students appeared. So total marks of question number 1 objective divided by number of students. My target was 1. My target was 1 for, because question was meant for 1 mark. But what is the outcome of this question? 0.76. Likewise, what I did there also, I had suggested that CO5, question 1 from objective, question 1, 2 from objective. Here what I have taken total, what was my target here? You can see 2 was my target on the basis of formula. Here I have been able to get, what is the score? 1.55. So my target was something else, and here I go on computing. Second also, the question you can see, whatever assignments I have given, I have linked those assignments to CO level and their analysis, and accordingly I have scored their marks according to their target. You can look. This cannot be completed in the cannot be completed in a very small time, but I have tried to give you in nutshell. There are number of mapping exercises need to be taken, and mapping assignments itself explaining takes me minimum 2 to 3 hours, because this is rather technical part, but very interesting. And there you can see that I have prepared asset attainment level of my COs according to my target. Just see my target. I had the target. Whatever I have achieved, this needs little bit discussion. My aim was to just give you an idea that you would get basic idea that mapping is a separate part. Mapping is a separate part where we go on giving rather say clear-cut idea about what, about nothing else but about nothing else but the target set and target achieved. You might feel some kind of difficulty over here, but just I wanted to give you a glimpse that once it is practiced, you can see here that higher order and lower order thinking, like Bloom's taxonomy, we go on remember, understand, apply, analyze, create. This can be achieved on the basis of what? See, regular internal test, term and planning, rubrics I had mentioned, that on the basis of rubrics, you can design, define assignments, oral tutorials, then course, higher order, you can go for course and mini project surveys, and the document you need to maintain is, it should be there in your academic and examination calendar. Your teaching plans, teaching diaries, COPO mapping, then preparing rubrics, attendance of the students, assessment sheet I showed, that attainment sheets also some 1 or 2 I showed. Don't get confused. This is very good idea that once we understand these, what you call Excel sheets, automatically plans are set, and autonomous institutes, believe me, you have got your independent identity. So you can go for the continuous assessment and you can check mapping of your students. This Excel sheet looks like this, as I showed you. I don't want to repeat it much, but remember that this was the idea I wanted to show. I will be very happy and delighted if you can come up with the questions. So thank you very much for bearing with me. Thank you very much. I hope I was audible, I was clear in explanation of the things. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is truly inspiring and neatly presented one. Now it's time for the question and answer session.
I would request Ayub, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Sir.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes.
Sir, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here.
Yes. To join the question and answer,
Yes,
sir, please. Yes, carry on.
Participants, you can raise questions either through the chat box or by raise hand option.
Any questions are there, please?
2 possibilities are there. They might have understood everything, or
Yes.
vice versa. Either possibility.
I think first option is very right.
Yes,
because very thoroughly and in detail you have been discussed. Then also queries will be there, no doubt. So
yes,
we are
absolutely.
very most welcome for the queries.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
sir. So that's the question. Shall I say?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
please,
sir.
please,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
You are most welcome, sir.
Can we use faculty's personal YouTube channel as teaching learning resource?
Already I have answered your question, sir. Already I have answered.
At
sir,
the time of discussion, it was answered.
Yes. Still I repeat, yes, you can. But link those channels to your institutional web portal. Say you should have record of your portal link sent to your student through your Google Class and LMS. But I would rather prefer not only YouTube channel, but even personal blogs also. Personal blog also. Say, Ganesh Kumar sir, you have raised your second question. If you use faculty's personal blog or channel, how it gives credit to the college? You are preparing your own resources and communicating those resources to students through learning management system, Google Class of your institute. And you are officially your faculty of your institute. You are doing it at your individual, because it is not mentioned in the question that the resources generated by college, resources generated by faculty, resources generated by faculty.
Yes,
and
yes,
better,
right.
yes, and simultaneously, yes, sir. Let me complete this. Let me complete this, sir. Better to look at the integrity of the institutional activities. On your institutional website, make one section, make one tab that resources from resources resources to the students, or resources made available to the students. There on institutional portal, you can provide link of all those resources. Okay, sir. That would add to the integrity of your claim. And simultaneously, also one more point I have made, that on institutional website, you have facility of YouTube channel. You can incorporate those channels over there, sir. Okay. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir. Ayub, sir.
Yes, sir. So I was trying to interpret. I was trying to take away you because you tired so much that I know from last
Yes, sir.
15
Yes,
hours
sir.
you are going to talk. Same thing I want to convey. And
Yes.
better way, create your institutional content by using the institutional mail ID. So that will be better for consideration by NAC and other authorities.
Ayub, sir, can you
Yes,
take
sir.
next question related to mentoring?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, please. What is the next question? Please, anybody can read.
Sabita madam has said that regarding mentoring, is it essential to have it included in curriculum allotment timetable?
Yes, it will be better. So if anything you are doing in a curriculum based timetable, so that will be the most effective. And we can claim very strongly because claiming is most important, and whatever qualitative metrics are there. So there is no particular guideline for the documentation concerned to the qualitative metrics. So whatever whatever documents you are going to generate, that will be the positive effect. If you are including in the curriculum timetable, that will be the most effective.
Yes, there is one more question in chat box. Is there any possibility to make use of part-time faculty benefit if they are skilled or expert? He means in a particular subject. For example, we have auditor for income tax and lawyer business law.
So there is no scope for the part-time because whatever have been mentioned by the NAC. So that is the full-time teacher is their required mention, and part-time teachers we can show as a guest lectures. This information basically we have to provide in the extended profile. So part-time teacher if you have, then you can mention as a guest lecture. So that will work, but not more effectively. So
Ayub,
generally
sir.
full-time teacher is expected.
Ayub, sir.
Yes.
I would like to add to your point one more thing, that it doesn't mean that our visiting faculty or part-time faculty will not be considered or counted. In your first criterion, you have effective curriculum delivery mechanism, right? And in effective curriculum delivery mechanism, although you don't have part-time position over there, you are not letting your students to land up in a difficulty, but you are appointing those teachers on the part-time basis or contractual basis to complete your curriculum delivery. There you can claim of the authenticity.
Yes.
Yes.
You can mention it, but as a part of consideration for the grading purpose or the scoring
Yes,
purpose,
yes.
so that is not considered. Okay, you can mention in the first criteria whatever
Yes, yes.
none of these have been mentioned.
Yes. Sir, one more question Savita ma'am has asked. In our college, we are maintaining register for mentoring to incorporate students' problems. Will it be a document for NAC?
Yeah, this is what is required to the NAC. So you have to mention the register in which you can mention the date. You can mention the name of the student. If the problem is serious, then you can mention the roll number of the student and what problem had with that student and what you did for that. Means action taken on that problem. If a simple manner, if you are going to maintain this register, so this will work more effectively.
But action to register, ma'am, to such one of the mention this particular question, that allotment notices and allotment of individual mentor-mentee is of great importance simultaneously in accordance with your register.
Yes, and this is to be with the notice should be there, the notification should be there with the sign of the principal. That principal will allot the responsibility of the mentor with the letter. So this is most important document.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. There is no further questions, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Again, yesterday's two questions were there, which I came to notice regarding the skill development courses, value-added courses. So let me tell, value-added courses have been removed in the revised manual. And concerned to the certificate courses, I also discussed yesterday. So the certificate courses can be designed by the institute. Minimum time period should be 30 and maximum 90 hours is there expected. And add-on courses, I also discussed yesterday. Basically, add-on courses is a scheme of the UGC. If UGC have been sanctioned the scheme, then only preferably we can show the add-on courses. Otherwise, we can create on the institutional level certificate courses, and that will get approved from the university, and that we can run. It will be considered for the metrics of the NACS. So this was yesterday's queries, which was left to discuss due to the time management.
Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, sir, please, organizer, any questions are there regarding from the host institute or anybody?
Because one of the question asked by the participant,
Yeah.
because he needs some clarification regarding the CBCS and elective courses.
Sir, Nanavade sir.
Yes, please take up, sir. Please take up.
Yes, sir. CBCS choice-based credit system. This is there implemented by the UGC. Documentary. This is implemented by the UGC. But actual practice, it is not possible to happen. What is required to the NAC? That document is required. That implementation of CBCS from the date, and university document is there required so as to claim this matrix. And CBCS elective is one part of the CBCS. Elective concept is as like that. Number of programs are there introduced by the institute. From that, the student can choose its own. Supposed to be physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, as like 6-7 courses are there. Of that, as per the own interest of the student can choose that courses, that program. So this is called the elective type of the system.
So, okay, sir. Okay.
And generally, this is not going to happen in every institute because groups have been created by the institute, and this group of the programs is provided by the institute, and from the complete group has to be taken by the student. So this is the system of each and every institute. What the NAC is willing, UGC is willing. So from the program, students should have freedom to choose any program, any subject, and to do and to complete the degree. So this is what is expected in elective type of the system.